Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Wayne Justice, and I'm out here at Cape Lookout Shoals with my buddy and fishing partner, Captain John Mauser of Tail and Tide Guide Service. Right now, John's hooked up to a beautiful North Carolina red drum on the fly rod, probably the fifth or sixth one he's caught so far today. We found these fish in the calm waters that have formed out here off Cape Lookout Shoals, an area known as Shark Island. We beached the boat back on shore and have been exploring up here on foot, looking for a school of fish that we had heard were out here over the past couple of days. It looks like we found them. The surrounding waters are often quite rough, but we were fortunate that the winds have died down the past couple of days, so it was a pretty comfortable boat ride to get out here for us out of our home base in Morehead City, North Carolina. The weather this winter has been really mild, and we've been here. We are late February, and the air temperatures today are forecast to be in the mid 70s, which is a blessing for John and I as we're out here in short sleeves, getting a tad bit wet as we explore. But it feels, real nice right now. These fish definitely got me warmed up, and they can be found along these shoals all throughout the winter and into the fall. Red drum are our North Carolina state saltwater fish, and they can be caught in our waters year-round. As the seasons change, so do their behaviors and patterns, and it's not unusual to see them schooled up in the areas right off our beaches and several hundreds of fish this time of year. On the warm days, they can get pretty aggressive as their feeding instincts tend to kick in, and the waters, when they get up into the mid-50s, it's a pretty good guarantee that you're gonna find these fish hungry. Now, this particular red drum didn't hesitate to eat my DOA jerk shad that I've rigged up on a half-ounce jig head. I really like these baits as I catch a lot of reds on them, speckled trout, and quite a few flounder as well. I fished them with a rhythmic pause, twitch, reel pattern, just fast enough to keep it off the bottom. I've been very fortunate so far today to have been catching fish on almost every other cast right now, but it's not always that easy. Days like today really stand out as some of the best trips we're liable to have all year, and I couldn't be happier. Today's my buddy John's 37th birthday. This school of fish have been moving into this deeper pocket of water and have basically become trapped here as the tide has dropped out and only left a very shallow entrance into this cut of the island. Your guess is as good as mine as why these fish come into this narrow little channel, but I imagine it might have something to do with the pods of bottlenose dolphin that we have in the area. Dolphin will feed on these drum, but they can't get to them in this spot right now, so the fish, might be in here seeking refuge. I guess they didn't count on John and I being here today, but lucky for them, we released most of the red drum we catch. Plan on releasing all the ones we catch today. Now, John's put me on quite a few fish over the years, so it sure is good to see him catching some on the fly today. Now, the fish that I have on right now has put up a pretty good fight. I'm using a Star Stellar Light rod matched up with a Penn 400 class reel, which is loaded with 10-pound Suffolk's monofilament line. That's a perfect light tackle setup for these fish that are ranging from 4 to 10 pounds, averaging about 24 inches, but I've caught a couple of the pushing the upper slot limit. Anglers are allowed to keep one fish per person from 18 to 27 inches per day. I really do advocate for anglers to practice catch and release with these fish, though, as they are an amazing game fish that are still, in my opinion, recovering in our area from a tremendous amount of fishing pressure. While we're having an excellent day here today with them, I am not seeing them in the waters around Morehead City in the same numbers that I did back in 2009 or maybe 2010. While there's certainly good numbers of larger breeder fish that move into our interior waters surrounding like the Neuse and the Pamlico River every summer into the fall, the slot fish have been kind of hard to come by for me the past couple of years. Now, last summer, we did have a lot of smaller pups from 14 to 18 inches around the Crystal Coast, so maybe that's a good sign for the next couple of years. There's no doubt that there are plenty of quality fish out here today at Shark Island. Now, I've got another one on that's well over 50 fish for me so far today. John and I have spent the better part of the past 2 hours doubled up with reds, one right after another. They don't always come this easy for us, but it's days like today that we will hope to remember for the rest of our lives. We'll probably end up catching more fish today than I'm liable to catch the rest of 2017. I fish as much as I can, but with 2 kids under 6 at home, my quality days are limited, and I don't take any of these fish for granted. I'm enjoying each and every one of them. Now, I do have to take a moment to thank my buddy Dwayne Smith of the Redfish Guys for tipping me off on the fact that he had a good day out here with these fish last weekend. It never hurts to have a good relationship with other anglers that are out on the water. There's absolutely no shame in working with one another and sharing information that might help one another out. There's no question that his being willing to share a bit of intel with me benefited us today. I guess I'm going to have to buy him a drink next time I see him. I might even owe him a couple, as these fish are so much fun. Red drum are absolutely my favorite fish to target, as they feed aggressively on artificial baits and put up a great fight on light tackle gear. They test your drag system with each run that they make. Now, if you're interested in hiring a charter to learn more about how to target these fish, I might suggest you contact my buddy here, Captain John. He's been leading trips to target reds in the skinny waters surrounding Swansboro, North Carolina for the past 4 or 5 years. He's got a tremendous amount of knowledge on how to go about catching them on both light tackle and fly fishing gear. He really enjoys searching for these fish when they're tailing up in the flooded Spartina grass during the summer and fall of each year. He put me in front of some tailors several years back and patiently coached me on how to present a lure to them, as they're somewhat spooky fish. And he helped me to land my first tailing red drum, which was an experience I'll never, ever forget. I'm so happy that I was able to repay him with this epic day we're having today on his 37th birthday. He's a great guide that I'm happy to call a good friend. I know he'd treat you well if you were to spend some time out on the water with him. You can find him online by searching for Tailing Tide Guide Service or Mauser Fly Fishing. Cape Lookout is one of 3 very distinctive spots along the North Carolina coast where you see a sudden change in direction of our coastline. Over on the east side of these shoals, the beaches face due east, but south of Cape Point, the beaches of Shackleford and Bogbanks face due south. The shoals stick out off the mainland and extend over 20 miles out into the Atlantic, creating some treacherous waters that have claimed many boats that have run aground. They don't call the waters off our coast the graveyard of the Atlantic for nothing. You have to exercise great caution when running out this way, and it's best to run out with somebody who's familiar with these shifting sands until you become familiar with them yourselves. But as you can see, it's worth it. The trip out here this time of year, you may find these fish anywhere in these surrounding waters around the shoals of Shark Island. Well, I guess it goes without saying that today has been one of the best days of saltwater fishing in my life. We have caught over 150 fish today between the two of us. It's just been great. I want to take time to thank y'all for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the video that we've put out. Want to encourage you to check out my channel. You can subscribe if you'd like to take a look at some of the other fishing videos I've done. I like to share videos of my family and fishing and friends. So if it's something that interests you, take a closer look at my channel. Feel free to subscribe and let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions. Thanks again for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great day on the water next time you have a chance to get out.